Hello and welcome to the 20th anniversary of the WrestleMania 17 recap. I don't even know
Hell yeah.
what I just said was completely out of order. Welcome to the 20th anniversary of WrestleMania 17. This is the recap, the roundtable. Can you hear us now?
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
So really quick, since the people that are watching the live stream already saw what we said, I'm giving this show 5 stars.
5 stars.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
I've time.
It was great. It was timeless. That's what Frank said earlier. You want to go around real quick again? Just get to the point. I thought it was great. You won't see a crowd like that ever again. You'll never see a show like this ever again. It was a great show. Wonderful. Perfect.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed rewatching it again with you guys on Discord. I had the DVD and I ripped it and...
Yeah, it's cool to watch it in sequence like that because, you get to see it with the Sunday Night Heat and it's all together and stuff like that. That's what I remember. This is, for me, this was like the era I first remember. My first memories of wrestling was this year and 2000 with like the PS1 game and stuff like that. And so, this was one of the best. It is the best WrestleMania, the best era. The superstars were all firing on all cylinders. It was just all energy, and they weren't fucking around. They really got to what it wasn't boring. So they really got right into it from start to finish.
Some people will say this was the end of the Attitude Era. I don't think so. It was like a year later, technically. But I think the Attitude Era really ended with WrestleMania 19. When Rock and Austin went out at 19, that was it. I think that was the end of it. Even though the Ruthless Aggression thing started in 2002, because Austin left and all that bullshit. Yeah, I think the end was their last match, and that was it. From there, it just picked up into whatever the hell else they were going to end up doing.
Yeah.
But, Eli, what do you think?
Great show. Like you were saying, once in a lifetime. You'll never see stuff like this again. You'll never see star power like that again, really. You'll never see crowd just get off their feet for Linda McMahon standing up from a chair. They were nuts the entire night, and just crazy, man. It really is a nostalgic moment going back and watching this 20 years after the fact. I can't believe
it's been a while since I've seen this whole thing. I think I've rented the DVD at one point from the video store when it was just there because I misplaced the one that we taped. But now the DVDs are so expensive, but I'm like, damn, this is something that I would personally like to own, but I'm not paying $100 for it. But because it's so good, like it really brought me back to that time. Like that's a big topic we're going to talk about when we go through these matches. Versus it brings you right back to like when that era was and the way the vibe and the edge it still had. It had some still kind of like that edge of the 90s, which was really cool. This was the last little shot at showing that.
Yeah.
Frank, what do you think, man?
I definitely give it a 5 out of 5. Matches held up well to this day. Like we've been saying, it's a snapshot in time for that era. And there wasn't a lot of filler. It was all around good. It was fast paced. Never felt bored. Never felt drawn out. And it's not like today where they just draw everything out. So it was actually really nice to just sit and watch it.
Yeah, today these guys were stars back then. Now today the star of the product is the logo and the company, not so much the talent. But in my opinion, this is the last go around in wrestling where you had men fighting.
Yeah.
Okay, and they were fighting for the title.
And it built up for a long time.
Rock and Austin beat the shit out of each other for the title. Okay. It was a great story. It was a great way to do it. It was like they took the Hogan thing and they modernized it into the 90s, into the early 2000s. And it was great. But, whatever. Everything changes, I guess. But that's fine, because look, I don't want to watch the new stuff anymore, but I'll watch the old stuff. I still got the DVDs. I ripped the DVD. We watched it on Discord. That's how we were able to do this roundtable. We were supposed to all get together in person and watch this show. It was planned a couple of years ago, but then unplanned was the virus, and now we're here. But we get to at least watch it, do this podcast, and have a recap for everybody. So we're going to get into it. So we saw the Sunday Night Heat match first, which is on DVD. It was the X Factor versus Steve Blackman and Brian Christopher.
Mm-hmm.
He was filling in for Scotty 2 Hotty. I guess Scotty was injured at the time. And it was an okay match. It wasn't anything too special. X-Pac getting on the WrestleMania card with his buddies. Just Incredible and Albert, who became A-Train, and Tenzai and whatever the hell else. So, what'd you guys think?
Yeah.
Decent match, right?
Decent, yeah. Very, very quick, like in and out, just to get you started.
Fast-paced opener. You had the lightweight guys in there, the smaller guys with, A-Train there being kind of like the equalizer for the X Factor. So, good opener. Had the crowd on their feet. I don't know why, but X-Pac was really over with the fans back then, even though he was just like some goofy guy. Which I liked X-Pac as a kid too, so whatever. But it's a good opener.
All right, well, let's get to the card now. Let's get to the first match, Frank.
Okay. You had the Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho versus William Regal, and Jericho retained.
Good match,
So
I guess.
That was a good.
It was a good match.
When Jericho had a waist and he could work.
Yeah, you guys could see his.
He wasn't messing up the lion salt.
You could see his abs.
You could see what?
Yeah, man. Just
You can see his abs. He's not drunk. He's not like all bloated.
yeah.
Judas, yeah. He's just like fucking drinking the bottle of beer. It's like Jesus Christ,
Man,
bro.
now he's drinking
He has a
Jesus
little
juice.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
You think he cooks
This
a
is a
steak
good
in
match.
Jesus juice over there?
I was saying
Probably.
during the Willem Regal, like during that match, like I forgot how good of a wrestler he actually was. Like he was a good wrestler. I just forgot about this match specifically, but it was really good just to kick off the card. High energy, really got the crowd going.
Yeah. Great stuff. Regal, really technical. Same thing, Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
Both fantastic, just technical guys in their own right.
Yeah,
I mean,
the crowd were eating them up. Like they love both of them.
you were saying too during the match, like this was like when the belts meant something. In a way, there was like prestige to being the Intercontinental Champion. There was prestige to being the World Champion back then. I mean, great match and a great story. Not a great story, but a great story told in the ring. So
Frank, what'd you think?
like,
It was good to get your feet wet. I know it was like technically the second match, but it was a good, quick match. It was cool to see Jericho move around like a human being and not a blob. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, it makes you
I
remember
like
what great of a wrestler he was. Like,
Ooh,
Yeah.
you're taking
It's
shots
true
at this
that-
guy.
Judas,
it hurt me. Yeah. It was like a year before he started his band, wasn't it?
I was gonna say, yeah, this is like right before.
Okay, so what's the next match on the card?
Then you had the 6-man tag, Taz and the APA versus Right to Censor. And who won that one? Oh, Taz and the APA won.
Yeah, Bradshaw got the pin with the clothesline from hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great little match. It was good. It told their story. It pretty much was the blow off for that whole RTC shit. So it was good. It's good to see all the superstars in the ring like that. A lot of ECW sprinkled into this show. Very minimal WCW sprinkled in, but a lot of ECW sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stevie Richards, Taz, then we'll get to the guys later that all show up and everything. But what'd you guys think?
This was good. You could definitely tell like it was the end for Taz, like as far as like his career. Like he wasn't really doing a lot.
Well, he
match.
hosted Sunday Night Heat before this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was already jumping in and out.
Yeah, just like, but I mean, it was still good to see like a tag match in here thrown in the mix. Yeah, because that's the thing too. Like the next match is definitely gets like turned up a notch though. Like this match is probably like one of like the weaker one, not weaker, but like right before shit starts getting crazy. Like once the golf carts come out, that's that was like, okay, this is just getting just so good. Like this is like reaching like 5 out of 5 already. Like it's so soon in, like you're already hooked because you're waiting for, a lot of this stuff to come out. But Raven, Kane, and the Big Show, man, that was a I think that took out this match for me, the Taz one. I don't really remember that one as much.
So then, all right.
Yeah.
So go down to Eli. What do you think?
Just I mean, there were a couple messed up spots in here too. That's why a lot of people probably forget about it. They kind of like shot off Taz like fucking, nut jobs like fucking, Bradshaw is. So, kind of messed up Taz's footing a little bit. He had some missed spots. Okay, match like you guys were saying, nothing crazy, but the whole story with Right to Censor, like back then, like Right to Censor was like, we've mentioned it before in the last show. Right to Censor is the play on the the parental freaking organization that was fucking around with TV and
Council
stuff,
or whatever the hell committee.
Yeah, so they were just a goofy kind of like semi-serious, semi-goofy faction there. They had him on the card. That was probably Stevie's highlight in WWE.
Yeah, the Stevie Richards
back in the day.
That was his highest, and that was never got as high as that ever again. But the sad thing about Stevie Richards was very underutilized. The guy could work.
Oh yeah.
When he was doing Stevie Night Heat with Victoria, I mean, the guy is like perfect in the ring. Like he was great.
Yeah,
but
he's a great technical guy.
He never got that up to that level ever again. That was like his peak of his career in WWE. So it's kind of sad because he showed that he could do a lot, even with the character, and they just ran their course with that little storyline, and that was it for him. So very unfortunate.
Stevie was the man. He deserved better.
Yeah, he did. He worked his ass off, man.
It's the IC title. Shit.
So Frank, what do you think about this match?
It was good. It was everyone got utilized, which was nice. It wasn't like nowadays it's like the video game where they're sitting there with their hand out like, come on, tag me. Like everybody got in. I mean, it was fast paced. It was good. It wasn't the best match in the world, but it was fine. It wasn't boring.
I don't know if we're experiencing buffering on this channel. It says no data. Now what is it doing?
Hold on, you're catching up.
It says excellent connection. Okay. Hey, the recording. I'm recording this, so we're like normal on the recording, but it's the stream that's acting weird. Okay, let's get to the next card then. The next match.
Triple threat.
Now it
says
this
was hardcore match.
Now it says there might be buffering. All right, we're just gonna keep going because we're recording this. If I have to re-upload it, I'll re-upload it.
So this was the WWF Hardcore Championship Triple Threat. So Raven was the champion, and he was defeated by Kane and Big Show, or Kane defeated him and Big Show. So,
what did you guys think?
This was great.
Let's start with Anthony.
The crowd fighting was the big thing that I liked because the crowd was already like rowdy, and then to see them in the crowd, they knew that was going to get them like excited and shit like that, and I kind of like that. You mentioned it's like WCW or something like that, so they don't do a lot of stuff like that anymore, and I think when they go in and they have like the brawl at the ending, like when they go backstage and they throw each other through a wall and he throws Raven through the glass, like that, you felt that, like it was just, I liked how raw it felt, and it was just like, it just kept going. Like it's like one of those like scenes in like Family Guy where like shit just keeps going, like one of the fight scenes with the chicken or some shit like that. Like it just keeps going and going and going, and you're like, where is this going? And then the golf cart comes out, and then that shit is fucking crazy because like it's all happening. Like they literally had to like think about how they had to rehearse this. Like that's what I'm thinking about. I'm like they had to like sit here and be like, all right, like we're gonna bring the golf cart out and you're gonna hit me and I'm gonna fuck, and it's just like I'm thinking about that and I'm like this is probably fucking hilarious like to make, but you have to be safe because it's fucking dangerous as fuck. But I love Kane because he was always my favorite wrestler, so this is probably one of my favorite matches on the bill, for sure. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was great. Brings back a lot of memories. When I watched this, it was like a car crash match, and it was great. I always liked Raven. I always liked Kane. I like Big Show, but man, they beat the fuck out of each other, all these guys. It's not like the 24/7 shit where they're chasing each other and they give them a schoolboy and win. I'm the 24/7 shit. No, these guys beat the shit out of each other for that stupid belt. Again, the belt, it meant something. These guys wanted it. They did anything they could to beat each other up to get the damn fucking belt. What do you think, Eli?
Say this real quick before I gotta run downstairs real quick. Great match, hardcore match again, a lost art, something that's gone from the art of wrestling. At least in the mainstream eyes, there isn't really hardcore matches in WWE anymore. Great, man. Raven, loved Raven at the time. Kane was one of my favorites. Big Show, phenomenal. Large athlete back in his WCW days and WWF. Obviously.
Yeah, fuck that shit. What about this match? Who cares about him?
Great match, man. They beat the shit out of each other. All the planned crash pads were kind of weird, but you didn't give a shit at the time because they were just beating the shit out of each other, man.
Yeah, but I wasn't looking for that back then.
Big Show just has him over the fucking, has Raven pressed over his head, and here comes fucking Kane, fucking knocking him into the fucking off the stage and shit.
I like how he just kicked him over, and he's just like, oh.
Yeah.
He like just
even got murdered in this match, though.
Big Show just dropped dead weight.
I don't. What the setup for this match is, I don't remember it too much. I know Kane was like hardcore champion around this time as well too, just trading back and forth. But like freaking, they must have been ribbing Raven or something because to put him in there with Big Show and Kane, and they're beating the crap out of him, and fucking Raven almost lost his damn leg.
Like,
well, did you hear what JR said on his podcast? That Vince didn't even know Raven worked for the company. And when he saw him on the sheets, he's like, who the fuck hired Raven? And JR was like, that would be me. It's like, why the fuck would you hire this guy? So, they could have been...
I'm going to be right back, guys.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. Frank, what do you think about this match?
This was a fun match. When they were going through the walls and stuff, it was awesome. I really liked it.
They just said, oh!
Yeah, that was amazing. The window was amazing. And then this is the one where he got thrown in the tank at the end, right? The like glass thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, like, there's nothing better than that. I love those kind of matches.
Yeah, between that and the audience brawl, like just them out in the audience, like that was just a really cool. We kind of got that more like later with Undertaker, Triple H, and then a little bit with the main event, but it was cool to see that because when you look back at it, you're like, man, like I missed when that was like a part of it,
Right.
But you can't do that stuff now because people are just too crazy with like wrestlers and celebrities and shit like that.
No, but of course you can't. You gotta watch Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Roman Reigns.
Now it's like ballet. It's like, oh, he kicked out. Oh, he kicked out. Oh, he kicked out. Oh, he got the shoulder up.
Don't forget chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored. And he just stops talking. Like that guy, that interviewer guy was so fucking weird.
Coach or the kid?
The guy who was whoever was talking to the kid.
Coach. That was Coach.
Coach. He was just like he didn't know what he
had
was.
Hair.
Like, oh yeah.
There's a lot of weirdos on this show.
Yeah.
The lady from Australia.
Limp Biscuit.
that lady with no bra on, with the big fucking fat ass titties hanging out, saying, "I flew 30 hours from Australia."
Brisbane, Australia, or something.
Bisbing,
All she had to say
Australia.
was WWF
Brisbane.
rules.
Yeah, she said WWF rule. It's like, what would you like to tell the people watching? And she just goes, WWF rules.
It's like that's all you have to say.
You
Like,
could make any fucking statement in the world.
there's 60,000 people in here, and you said that you were chosen out of all of them, and you like what?
Oh God. So, fuck him. What's the next match?
Test and Eddie Guerrero.
With Perry Saturn too. Don't forget.
Oh yeah,
Saturn disguised as Hulk Hogan. We joked that it was Hogan dressing up as Saturn to try to get in.
He had the hat over his eyes too.
Yeah, and he had the fucking Hogan mustache.
Yeah.
Fu Manchu.
That was for the European Championship.
Good match, but it's sad to see that these guys they're not with us anymore. Eddie Guerrero and Test.
Yeah.
The European title is also not with us anymore.
It was the classic ref gets distracted and he hits him with the belt or does something behind his back.
Yeah, Saturn ran in a few times when the ref wasn't looking. I think the highlight
Was Guerrero heel at this point?
Yeah, he was a heel. Unfortunately, the highlight was Test getting his leg caught in the ropes. To the point where Guerrero had to try to help him get his leg out of the damn rope. Because Saturn's distracting the ref in storyline, but then Saturn's like, yo, his leg is really fucked up. And the ref turns around, and the ref and Guerrero are trying to get him out of there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so... Just, it's crazy. So what do you think, Ant? You like this or not?
I like this. Yeah, it was fun. It wasn't, it was good to see... I haven't seen Test wrestle in a while, and it's good to see Eddie Guerrero again. Perry Saturn I haven't seen in years.
He's alive.
I thought it was good. I think it was a nice change of pace after the ramped up other one. This one wasn't too long either. So
no, these matches weren't that long. I mean, this is exactly what you got back then. You know what I mean? Like, nowadays, like, one match is like an hour long, 45 minutes, 35 minutes on regular TV.
Yeah.
And you want to pull your fucking hair out. You're like, I don't have time for this shit. But, yeah, these matches always used to be short, and they were good. Yeah. You didn't need 2 fucking nights for WrestleMania back then.
No.
They added 1 extra hour to the show. So... And they got everything done. We didn't feel ripped off, right? Everything was good.
And it didn't feel like long at all. Like it actually felt like really quick because it was just so entertaining.
Great pacing. Boom, 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 boom. That was it. Because they didn't have to fucking kick out 750,000 times and go 45 minutes for each match. They got in the ring, told their story, did their shit, out. Next match. You know what I mean? That's why, I like the show.
They knew the fans knew the stories already. They're already, the hype for this was huge, I'm sure. So everyone knew that, that all right, we're ready to see where these storylines are gonna, hit their peak as far as like what's gonna happen or who's gonna win the title or whatever it may be.
Right. Well, I enjoyed it. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I enjoyed it overall.
I enjoyed it. I thought they did great. It's Guerrero. It's good to see him again. I haven't seen any of his matches in a long time. Test, great to see him. Unfortunately, he passed away too, and that was a sad day. I remember reading that on my phone and shit. It's like, come on, man. This guy, he was young. I think he was about my age when he died.
What happened?
I think it was overdose or something, or steroid abuse or some shit like that.
Damn. Yeah,
it sucks, but... He was good. I mean, he wasn't the greatest wrestler, but he was good. He held his own. He was popular. But I thought the match was good. I like how it was booked. You had Malenko running at the end, so you had the Radicals helping each other out against this guy, and Eddie stole the belt. Stole the match. He stole the win. And that was his gimmick and his character, and people loved it. Eli, what did you think about this match?
So talking about the Guerrero match. For the European
No,
title,
we're talking about the Eddie Kingston
My
match from
favorite-
AEW 2 weeks ago.
yeah, when Eddie Kingston fought the European title in 2001. Yeah, just European title was one of my favorite titles back when I was growing up. So, great match. Eddie Guerrero, and like his T-shirt used to say, he was my favorite wrestler. Unfortunately, what happened to him later on down the line, but great match. Eddie, dirty tricks, playing the heel, and just great match with Eddie. We don't see stuff like that anymore with Eddie, and the way he used to do his line cheating, stealing type gimmick and everything. Behind the ref's back, hitting him with the belt, stealing the win. I mean, hey, that's how Eddie used to do it. And
yeah, I love that.
If you've never seen Eddie Guerrero, matches, or if you're a person who's brand new and you've never seen him, just watch his matches. Like he was great, especially WWF when he got there.
Recommend Eddie Guerrero versus Diamond Dallas Page. Remember that?
That too. That was.
Remember
that
he fucking drops him right into a diamond cutter? Literally, he's on his shoulders, and they both jump up and go. Like, you have to see that. Like, that's crazy. He had Guerrero on his shoulder. He fucking pushes him up. DDP jumps up and gives him the cutter. And it's fucking nuts. Both crazy. Both great athletes. But, yeah. Frank, what'd you think about this match?
I enjoyed it while I was watching it. It's not the most memorable match in the world, but it was fun. I thought it was fine. I mean,
Come on,
there's nothing that really stood out to me. But, I mean, it was the greatest match ever. No, it was good. It was a fun match.
All right, so what's next on the card here?
Singles match, Kurt Angle defeated Chris Benoit.
Go Kurt.
Yeah.
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 Go
We
Kurt.
can all say that.
I love his attitude when he came out. He's just like, and your hats are stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
Curse out
that
Texas.
was just funny, man. Kurt Angle's fucking awesome. I always loved Kurt Angle, and I remember this era too of Kurt Angle. So, this is fun, man. I like this one. They obviously go back and forth, and then they have the whole behind this stage thing where he's getting interviewed because he ends up tapping out, like at that whole thing. But it's like, man, Kurt Angle won that one for sure.
Angle won. That's all that matters. Eli?
Yeah, man. Angle was freaking like at his like craziest at this time.
He was fucking jacked.
He was like, he was a serious heel, but in a way, it made him kind of comedic at the same time because he's the Olympic hero and people are coming out and he's talking trash and he's booing, It's like, it's like Sergeant Slaughter coming out in the 80s. And he's like freaking all the fans assholes.
Here's the thing with Angle. He would come out and trash every town and then wonder why people are booing him because he's so good. And that was the whole thing. That was
his thing.
The inferiority complex of this character. It's like, hey,
medal winner, so
I'm telling the truth that you people suck, but I'm really good at wrestling, so why are you booing me? Like, that was the character of Kurt Angle. And he played it so well.
Right.
And then they
he
had the
was
whole
great
thing, which was like a year later.
He what?
Yeah.
The You Suck.
The You Suck.
chant.
Yeah. When he shaved his head, and he's still selling the gimmick today. Still bald. That's a hell of a gimmick to sell for 20 fucking
He can
years.
pull it off though. He can pull off the bald look. He'll be like, he looks like fucking Hitman. He's gonna fucking kill you.
Well, if you watch some of the later 2001 WWF pay-per-views, you can see he's starting to go bald anyway.
Yeah, so he was just like, fuck.
You could kind of see it here too.
Yeah, because there's like a piece of his head that's like separated.
Yeah. Oh.
So, which I have that too. So there you go. So Frank, what do you think?
Well, I love Kurt Angle, so this was a good match. I still like him to this day, and I'm glad he won. So
I think the right person won this match.
Yeah, thank God that.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Then you had the next match was the women's championship match. It was China steamrolling Ivory.
I think you said it all.
Yeah. There was not much to say about this.
No.
She beat the fuck out of her, and it ended.
Yep,
Yeah.
very fast.
So
Was it? This was China's last run as women's champion. She'd be gone like a month later.
She won the title. She didn't want the title. She wanted to wrestle the guys, but they made her wrestle. They made her wrestle women and get the belt. And she wrestled Backlash 2001 against Lita, beat Lita, and then that was it. She was gone.
Yeah.
So, technically, she was still the women's champion, even though she's not with us anymore. A lot of people are gone from this show, which sucks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? I think we all said it. It was a steamroll match. It was a squash match.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Nothing bad, nothing good. Let's move on.
Then you had Shane McMahon versus Vince with Stephanie, Trish, a catatonic Linda, and Mick Foley was the guest referee.
The family drama match.
Oh man, this was General Hospital and all that fucking in a nutshell.
The grapefruits. So, who wants to start with this? Anthony, I guess, right?
Yeah, I like this one. This one was hilarious. I completely forgot about the whole Linda McMahon acting like she's sedated in the chair. That was just hilarious. I mean, so they had the whole like Vince beating up, the son in front of her, and he's like, "Yeah, you see that?" And he pulls out the trash cans from underneath the ring. And they all like dent after like one hit, you know what I mean? It's just so funny. Like I just like the fact that he was just beating the shit out of him. But obviously, Trish Stratus comes out, and because she pushes her out right with the chair, and she puts her out in the wheelchair, and then she comes out, and then Steph as is beating up Stephanie and shit like that. I thought that was a good touch too, because everyone liked Trish back then. They're like, yeah, fuck Stephanie, fucking boss's daughter, fuck her. Like people hated her back then, so that was kind of cool to see that.
She had a pretty questionable hairstyle on this.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why would this woman have a hairstyle like that? But whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. But and then Mick Foley as a special guest referee, that was funny too, because he got a few shots in there, which were hilarious.
Looked like fucking Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, it did, seriously. So yeah, I thought this was a very fun match. It was one of the longer matches, just kind of like the Kurt Angle one. But it was really entertaining.
Well, I liked the match. I thought it was good. You literally they were gonna have this match anyway, but me and Eli recapped this. WCW was purchased less than a week before this pay-per-view. So they did the story, hey, you know what, since we're doing the father versus son, why don't we make the son the owner of the company, the opposition company, and just make that storyline even more. Just put a match right on the fucking fire there.
It worked.
It did work. It was good because you felt like, okay, and it just fit right into place. Like, that wasn't going to be... They had planned this for a couple of months that they were going to do this thing, but they didn't plan buying WCW. That fell into their laps at the last second. And for them to take that and put that on Shane McMahon, so it's WCW's owner versus WWF's owner at WrestleMania, that just added more to it, and it was good. And they showed the WCW guys up in the top. Beat the fuck out of each other. You had Stephanie and Trish doing the whole catfight bullshit thing. You had Mick Foley. He looked like he was going to beat the fuck out of somebody. And he did.
He beat up Vince.
Yeah, but when the women started beating him up, he started fucking chasing the women down. I was like, what's this guy going to do? And then he walked like he was fucking... Like, in GTA when he hit somebody, and then they do the manhunt thing where they fucking follow you around. That's what he did.
Yeah, in the eye, and he's just like,
and eventually
walking down the aisle, and it's just like,
and eventually he turned around at some point, but it looked like he was following them, the women. Yeah, I was like, what the hell is he gonna do?
And Linda stands up out of the chair. That's so funny. Just kicks Vince in the balls.
Still can't believe that pop that she got when she stood up out of the chair.
That was the highlight of the match.
January, at Guilty as Charged, Rob Van Dam, January 2001. debuted the Van Terminator, which he jumped off the rope across the ring and smashed a garbage can into, I think it was what, Jerry Lynn?
Yeah, Jerry Lynn.
And was it Jerry Lynn or was it the fucking
Oh,
bodyguard?
it was Scotty Riggs, I think. Wasn't it?
No, it was the bodyguard guy.
I don't remember.
And Scotty Antoine or something, or
that's Scotty Riggs.
That's the same guy?
Scotty Antoine. Yeah, it's the same guy.
Okay. Well, whatever. Shane McMahon stole that, did it here, called it the Coast to Coast, but they didn't have a name for it at this event. They called it the Leapfrog. But yeah, he stole the Van Terminator, but nobody knew Van Dam really did it because that was their last show. Nobody really watched it, and of course he exposed it to everybody else, and that sucked.
All right.
But whatever, he used the Van Terminator. It was cool. It was a cool ending. I was hoping that it would start something storyline wise with them bringing WCW in. It kind of did, and it kind of didn't, and it fell apart. But this match was good. What do you think, Eli? And then Frank.
Family Feud, man, nothing like it. I mean, Vince had it all planned out. Credit to whoever was working on this storyline, because that whole WCW thing, like falling in their lap and them adding it to the storyline. I mean, it's a perfectly natural thing, you would think, if you were a writer back then. But nowadays they miss so many things in writing when it comes to certain things that they can write into feuds. But just a fun match, entertaining match. Like, none of the matches on this card, well, I won't say any of the matches, but some of the matches on this card are, we rate it so high because of the entertainment value back then. And even though the wrestling, okay, you're not having 45-minute matches or anything like that, the purpose was it was there to entertain the fans. The fans were getting invested into the characters and into the, they just wanted to see people beat the shit out of each other.
Listen, I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I started watching this shit because Jerry Springer was popular. Okay, everyone watched Jerry Springer in the fucking 90s. Okay, when Jerry Springer, not 94, when he was interviewing cats and shit like that, because he used to do that. Okay.
Oh God.
The minute that people started throwing chairs and beating the fuck out of each other, that's when people got hooked on Jerry Springer. Then that translated into WWF. All they did was just beat Jerry Springer dialed up to fucking 10. That's why I started watching it. People getting fights, beating the fuck out of each other. That's all it was. It wasn't because oh man, I gotta watch the ballerina dancing and the ballet and the performance. I wasn't there for that. I was there for people, hey, you got a problem with me? Hey, all right, let's beat the fuck out of each other. You got the belt? I want the belt. Shit like that. That's why I started watching it. I didn't watch it for Roman Greco bullshit.
All right.
I watched it for the fighting and the entertainment, okay? That's it. I know people today, they do, ooh, yeah, what kind of moves is he going to do? I can't wait till he does this. I can't wait till he touches his ass cheek. I can't wait till he wears those pink tights. I don't care about that shit, okay? I care about these guys getting in fights and fucking going at it. Just like when you guys watch UFC. You want to see each other beat the fuck out of each other.
Yep.
You don't want to see these guys fucking, give me a fighter. Is Conor McGregor going to fucking mount the guy and fucking punch him right in the left eye socket? Like, nobody's thinking about that. They're just like, Conor McGregor.
That's what analysts.
Conor McGregor's going to kill somebody
That
tonight.
shit.
So I'm going to order the fucking pay-per-view. That's what people think of. That's what we thought of back then. Like, Stone Cold's going to whoop somebody's ass. I'm going to watch that shit.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah, like these guys are pissed, and we got to watch this right now.
Yeah. I wonder if Kevin Owens is going to do the stunner tonight. Nobody fucking cares about that shit, okay?
No.
Right.
Nope.
These guys today, okay, they don't look like men. They look like fucking midgets. They look like little kids. They look like kids out of school fighting each other on fucking TV. Okay? And Kevin Owens looks like a fucking fat slob. Sami Zayn looks like a fucking slob. These guys aren't believable. Can you imagine The Rock walking out with a fucking beard this big? With the little fucking golf cap on and be like, Stone Cold, I'm gonna whoop your fucking ass. I'm like, and Stone Cold fucking coming out like a big fat fucking slob, like he's from the crowd. with shorts on and be like, "Hey, hell yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass, you big beard motherfucker." No one's gonna watch that shit, and nobody's watching it. So good luck. Yeah. So, whatever. What do you think? You already won, Eli, or did you not go? I don't remember.
Yeah, I won it. It's Frank's turn now.
Go, Frank.
This was a good match. It was a lot going on, and I was gonna say the exact same thing. It literally fits the time period, that like Jerry Springer, like family drama time period. It was exactly like you said. It's Jerry Springer dialed up to 10. So that was cool, and it just reminded me of that time.
It wasn't a dull moment in that fucking match for sure.
Right. It was interesting. There was a lot going on with different feuds and different people, and it was just overall good. It was fun to watch.
All right, next match on the card.
All right, this one is top 3 for sure.
The gimmick battle royale.
It was the TLC match for the tag team championship.
Oh yeah, I mean, while we were watching this, Steve Austin, and I don't know if Rock was retweeting it, but Steve Austin retweeted this match, and somebody wrote 20 years ago. He said, "Great wrestling, great fucking match, man, great match." Go ahead, Anthony.
Oh yeah, no, this was this was back when, Edge and Christian were, at their peak, and Dudley Boys, and you had all of and obviously Jeff and Matt Hardy, but it was cool to see all of them try to just beat each other up, throw ladders down, throw them through tables from the ladders, like the high flyers. Like, it had just so much going on, and again, it was just like, okay, who the fuck, like, which duo is going to come out on top? I like the setup here, and it was really fucking pushing some shit as far as like the stunts that they were doing. Like, that's the way they were kind of thinking, like, all right, how can we make this, big? And the spear off the belt.
Oh yeah.
That shit was nuts.
Off the belt? Nuts. Oh yeah, because Hardy was hanging onto the belts, right?
Or whatever it is, he just jumped.
No, he was hanging onto the belts because he was moving the ladder with his legs to get the ladder out of the way.
Yeah.
You could clearly see what he's trying to do. He's trying to get the ladder out of the way so he could take the fucking spear. And then Bubba Ray or whoever grabs the fucking ladder and throws it out of the way. And then Edge spears the shit out of him. High up in the air. Like, that was a highlight.
Yeah, man. I really enjoyed this match. This is definitely one of the most entertaining. I mean, all of them are entertaining on this event, but yeah, this is great. I love what they did here.
I loved it. Thought it was great. Loved it back when it was. I saw it live. So I mean, rewatched this match a bunch of times. Great. Loved it. Everything was perfect. These guys are beat up big time. Fortunately, these guys are still with us, and they're not badly hurt. Well, they're not badly fucked up, but it's they went out there and they made this match was not looked at as like one of the best matches. You knew you were going to get a decent match, but you didn't think it was going to be knocked out of the park like this. Because they had this match a year prior at WrestleMania, but it wasn't called TLC. It was called a triangle tables match or something. Something like that. Or it was just a tables match. And then from there it evolved. And SummerSlam was the first TLC. I believe this was TLC 2. But this was the best. And I enjoyed it. I thought these guys worked their ass off. They had a plan going in. They executed that plan perfectly. And I think they woke up the audience with this one. They kept them going.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Eli.
Car crash of a match, man. You think, at the time, too, man, you think of freaking, all this fucking, fucking home video shits with the fucking cars crashing and the wildest police chases stuff, man. That's what this match was. Just crazy high spots, no frills, high flying, beating the crap out of each other. These guys had something on the line. They made the tag team titles feel like something like, you had to be the tag team champion. We want the belts. I want the belts. Everybody in this match wanted those belts. They were going to kill each other for them. This match today, man, like you were saying, like it wasn't like the biggest match on the card, but to this day, I mean, the highlights from this match are still, played. I mean, what else tops this TLC match? I mean, in my opinion, not even Money in the Banks, not in the even after this, top this match,
No way.
Yeah, the Money in the Banks were okay, but there was never. I don't remember any of them being that memorable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The first one?
This, you know what I mean? Yeah, the first
but
one.
This, yeah. Yeah, this was great, man. Just fantastic. Great guys, great talents. And, hey, they beat the crap out of each other, man. There was something to fight for back then. And they made you feel like that,
Frank, what do you think?
Frank?
This was great. I don't know. I heard something weird. No, this was great. They don't do matches like that anymore. You could tell the guys were getting really hurt. I was shocked. I was like, wow, that looks very painful.
Devon hanging from the belts, and he just fell because he couldn't hang on to it anymore.
That was crazy that thing could hold them up. That was amazing. The spear in midair was the best thing. It was just really fun.
You had some ECW sprinkled in on all three sides. Lita.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Rhino,
right, Lita.
Spike Dudley. Lita was in ECW a couple of years prior. Miss Congeniality. That was her name.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Rhino, and this was right when ECW closed in January. So these guys literally just got right into the Fed and got right on the WrestleMania card. So it was good. It's good to see ECW more represented on this show.
Imagine if they put these guys in developmental.
No, fuck that shit. It was you know what? It was this was the culmination of all of wrestling. All the popular wrestling. Man. This was the culmination of all that shit. This was the biggest show.
Yeah.
In every way possible. There's layers to this whole thing. Okay? It was, it's an event and everything. But, if ECW didn't close, you wouldn't have half these guys in the match. If WCW didn't close, you wouldn't have specific things going on with these matches. You know what I mean? It was this was the time that it all came to a head, and this was the ultimate show.
I mean, this is what we were hoping for back then was, with the buyouts of these companies. We was hoping to see fucking Booker T versus Rock and all these guys come in, ECW guys versus WWF guys.
Right.
I mean...
But it was nice to see ECW guys finally, because these guys got fucked over. Let's face it.
Oh, yeah.
This guy couldn't pay half these guys. A lot of them fucking left the Federation. The Fed closed on him when he was on Raw. Heyman, I don't think you guys understand. Heyman's telling these guys, yeah, I'm talking to people in California about a TV deal, and he's on fucking Raw Monday night. And Dreamer and everybody's like, what are we doing? We have a show tomorrow, and this guy's on Raw? He's the owner of the company. Heyman didn't even end ECW. Dreamer did. So, that's what I'm saying. But Heyman made sure that he took care of his guys. And that's what I like about this whole thing. It was all sprinkled in. Anyway, Frank, what'd you think?
It was great. It was, like I said before, the spots were great. It was just a good match all around. Even if you don't like wrestling, you should go back and watch this match.
Yeah.
Because it's so interesting. And
I know
cool.
the purists today would hate this match. Because there's not enough touching. And 45 minutes and kick it. It's my God. Just go back and enjoy some good stuff. All right, go ahead. Next card. Next match on the card.
The Gimmick Battle Royale. You had the Bushwhackers, Doink the Clown, Nikolai Volkov, Tugboat, The Goon, Earthquake, Gobbledygooker, Brother Love, Michael Hayes, One Man Gang, Kamala, Kimchi, Jim Cornette, Repo Man, Sergeant Slaughter, Iron Sheik, Hillbilly Jim, and Iron Sheik won by eliminating Hillbilly Jim.
Too bad Hogan wasn't in it, right?
He's a gimmick.
I know, right? He would have outworked everybody in the match.
It would have been the 80s all over again. No, great match. You had Mean Gene and Bobby Heenan come out and do commentary. Again, if they didn't buy WCW, you would not have had Mean Gene at that show. Bobby Heenan technically was under a Turner deal, I think, but he was fired from WCW. Mean Gene was on a Turner deal, but he was billed as a guest, and he was able to do the show. I loved it. I thought it was great. It is what it is. It's a little shitty match just to get you through. It's to bring you down a little bit from the big TLC match that you were watching. So I thought it was fun. It's just mindless fun.
Yeah, it broke it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's nostalgic fun at the time. I mean,
right.
Slaughter, all those guys were in there, Nikolai Volkov, Iron Sheik, regardless how you felt about them back then. If you were, teenager, or even our age at the time, it brought back like, oh man, this was, my heyday of wrestling. These guys, maybe not Duke the Dumpster.
And Bobby Heenan threw out the line. By the time the Iron Sheik gets to the ring, it'll be WrestleMania 38. Isn't WrestleMania 38 coming up this week?
Yeah. Which is it? 38?
37 or 38? It's 37 probably. Because it's 17. WrestleMania 17 we just watched. 20 years later, it's 37.
37.
All right, well, one more year, and the Iron Sheik can walk to the ring at WrestleMania 38.
So they can put him on the show doing that.
He's got to be on the poster for 38. So, I enjoyed it. Thought it was great. What'd you think, Eli? You already gave your opinion.
Yeah, pretty much. Again,
Frank,
goofy, nostalgic fun.
It was just goofy comedy. It was fun. It was nice to see some of those guys back again.
But it wasn't like to the point where you're like, oh my god, these guys. You were like, oh shit, this is funny.
Yeah.
What next?
Then you had a singles match. Undertaker versus Triple H. Undertaker won. No surprise.
It was a good match. They had a lot of fighting in the crowd. Listen, he beat up his fucking motorcycle, so he fucking kidnapped his wife. All this other bullshit. Had great psychology. There was no streak back then. Go ahead.
Yeah, that. I really like this match. I liked because
go ahead and talk about it.
This is my favorite Undertaker rendition, I guess, or era. So I like the fact that it was like, this is also back when Undertaker could do a lot of moves and can really, again, they kind of played with the crowd as well. But the big thing here is that like, you could tell that like, again, Undertaker was getting older, but he was still really kicking the shit out of Triple H. So it's always good to see Triple H get beat up because I never liked him. So even though they were obviously going back and forth for a little bit, but I don't remember the whole storyline entirely. What was going on around this time? I'd have to go back and watch some of the stuff around this to remember. But I like the fact that they would flash back to like, him teaming up with Kane, and then Kane was like, it was like mob style where he was like threatening, to throw the girl off the balcony. I just thought that was funny. So this is back when like he would actually work with his brother. Yeah, overall though, this was a great match just because I always loved the Undertaker growing up, him and Kane. So this was always on the top matches for me. It was definitely a good match. One of the longer ones as well, but it was definitely worth it.
No, I thought it was good. I thought, like I said before, it had a story to it. By the way, really quick, Anthony, your buddy, Mr. Motorhead, was there.
Yeah, Lemmy fucking played.
He's no longer with us either. A lot of people that have passed away are on the show. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast 20 years can fly by.
They're advertising the WWF Volume 5. So, that was on it.
So what did you think really quick about Lemmy's performance?
Not very good.
Not very good. But the music was good. Like the band sounded like they were playing.
He was just repeating the same line. He fucking forgot the lyrics. He
But
didn't
I
write
do
that
respect.
song, by the way. You know that,
I
right?
do respect him actually playing it over like lip syncing it. Like even because
Yeah.
he's kind of from that era where like if you play sloppy, it's kind of okay. It's that like punk attitude. You know what I mean?
Well,
Not that they're
he's a
punk band,
legend at
but
that point.
yeah. So he's just like he doesn't even care. So like he's just doing whatever. So I kind of like that attitude. So I think that was definitely the most badass like Triple H intro. It's kind of like when Disturbed came out and actually sang the Glass Shattered. It's like that's that's badass. So at least
Right.
it's a cool. It was a nice little kickoff to the event. Or that match rather, not the event, but.
Eli, what'd you think?
I mean, at the time, what two of the pretty much hit card guys. I mean, Triple H was on his way up. Undertaker was recovering. Kind of his career from the whole Dead Man thing. Because to be honest, I mean, the Dead Man thing was running its course at that point. This was my
Really, do you
favorite
think
point in
that when it was
Undertaker's
like,
career.
you think that's when it was like getting played
Yeah,
out?
because people were booing him. People weren't reacting as much to him, in like late '99, 2000. So I mean, when he became the biker and he came back on the motorcycle and everything, American Badass played and all that. This was my favorite version of the Undertaker was when he became the biker Undertaker. Again, the stuff like you were mentioning with Kane and him, finally teaming up, putting aside the fact that Undertaker almost killed Kane in storyline or whatever, and killed their parents too. But just
Can you believe that DDP and Canyon versus Kane and the Undertaker for the WCW Tag Team titles would be a fucking
It'd be like a
SummerSlam later this year?
dude, like I
Or
couldn't believe
WWE
it.
Tag Team. I don't fucking remember. The belts were switching like crazy. That's why we have to recap Invasion and SummerSlam.
I think the Dudleys had both belts at one point or whatever, but yeah, I digress.
That's great.
A great match. Again, another hardcore, no holds barred match, which Triple H at the time he was doing these no holds barred matches, almost every other pay per view.
All right.
That's kind of what Triple H was kind of being. He was kind of like the street fighting type of dude.
Yeah, he was trying to build credibility with the fan base, and a lot of people, he won them over, and a lot of people are just like, the guy still doesn't have shit. You could put Barry Horowitz in a fucking hardcore match. No one's gonna fucking like him any more than they already do.
Right.
Frank, what'd you think?
No, great entertaining match, man.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm silencing you.
It's been so long since I've seen Undertaker walk not like this that it was like jarring to see him move around, and it was cool. So that was nice. The sledgehammer thing was fun. It was a pretty good match. I mean, I'm not the biggest Triple H fan, but it was cool to see Undertaker be able to work back then. So it was good.
So now we move on to, before we get to the final main event here, we get to the Limp Biscuit contest.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yes. Where where Coach was not even saying the full title. He's like, this is the chocolates. You could tell they had like a sponsor, and it was like, because you heard My Way play like the whole time. That was like the theme song. It's even on the DVD menu.
My Way was played the day after the fucking either Royal Rumble or No Way Out. Like literally, they played that for months.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where it's like, oh my god. But then it's a good song. So you're like, all right, I'll get into it. The song was perfect for the show, by the way.
Oh yeah.
It was just like, and it was like, I guess it was like a fan contest, right? So the guy he like pasted a shitty paint from '98.
Hang
like
on, maybe I can find it. Just keep talking about it. What?
It was like him surfing, but it was like Austin and Rock on like the. I don't understand. So, so the chocolate starfish and a hot dog flavored water came out October 17th, 2000. But My Way was released January 6th, 2001 as a single, but obviously it was used during this because this is April 01, right? So
yes.
Yeah, so
April 1st, 2001.
So
I found the picture if you need it.
Can you
I love that it's out
FB
there.
me that?
it needs to be. And so this kid, I guess because he did this, they selected him to go see Limp Biscuit, and I guess they gave him WrestleMania tickets.
I mean, I can just fucking.
Favorite band is Limp Biscuit.
I got it.
All right, let me see how good that is. You did the FB or what?
I'm putting it right now.
Because I could just like load up the DVD too.
You know,
There you go.
this era in music, it's bittersweet. Some people like it, some people hate it. But it's just funny that when Coach was talking about the album, he just said, "So, and it's just Limp Bizkit, chocolate starfish, and hot dog flavored." And he just stopped. I didn't understand why that why he said it like that. And the kid's reaction, I don't understand. I don't know. But that's one of those things that people shit on that album when it came out, but now people are like, "Oh man, it's like their best album."
You got that
I like
photo?
the album.
I sent it to you on Facebook.
I like the album.
It's not in the thing. Oh, unless
It's
you sent it a private. Okay, I see it. Hang on. All right, keep talking about this, Anthony.
But yeah, I mean, this is just that era, Limp Bizkit and new metal, and
So this guy, he's probably gonna come after us now.
Oh man,
he's probably like 50 years old now.
he probably doesn't have any Limp Bizkit albums anymore.
Didn't he? What word did he say? He was like, "That's a baby." He said something crazy like that. So
His parents should
this
listen
was
to that.
he won the fucking contest because of this shit. It's like a horrible Microsoft Paint job, man. Like, it's not even that good. I think they forgot they had this fucking contest. They looked at the first guy who submitted it and was like, yeah, he's the winner.
He's wearing like a Parappa the Rapper hat.
Yeah, it's alright.
oh man.
So, there you go. That was the artwork that we were talking about.
They had to show that off when after
Fred can fucking fart a better fucking picture than that.
Fred probably could have did a better picture back then.
That's what
He
I'm saying.
scanned the album cover in, it looks like.
He was really good at Microsoft Paint or Paint Shop Pro back then. Adobe.
it's just so bad because it's him. I don't get it.
It's just a shitty ass photo.
Yeah,
I don't know who the fuck. I'm telling you, they probably forgot the contest was like ending, and it was like, oh shit, we got to pick somebody. It was
you can tell
give me
it's
the
just
first
him
one.
sitting on his couch, and they just cropped it out. I don't get it.
So okay, who was more annoying, this guy or the fucking big titty lady?
Definitely
The lady.
You sure about
She
that?
was a big
Because
titty
we all
lady?
laughed at this guy.
Well, she was just cringy, that lady.
Yeah, the titty lady was cringy. But this is so bad. This was artwork.
I'm gonna have my wife watch that lady, just because she's gonna think that that's fucking weird too.
Oh, man.
What were you saying, Anthony?
Oh no, I was gonna say, but this is artwork, so that's just I don't know. There's just something
Yeah,
about
but the
this.
kid was weird too. It's like they had all these fucking deer in the headlights people. Hey,
Yeah.
you're at WrestleMania. What do you want to say? Well, I saw the Undertaker. This is Triple H, and I'm at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I guess I don't know
They
what's
had that lady.
Yeah,
guy was
WrestleMania rules. Like she's a fucking soccer mom. Yeah, bro, it rules.
Coach should have been like, "Yo, you have one shot on fucking global television to say whatever you want. What do you have to say? Well, I saw the Undertaker. I saw Triple H. Why don't you just say I'm going to Disney World?"
Oh man.
So, what'd you think about this kitty line?
I
right,
feel
fuck
bad
it.
if
All
I
right.
say anything.
Frank, what'd you think, real quick, of this guy?
No, he was just really cringy, and the picture was stupid.
All right.
What did he say in the end?
So, all right, so let's get to the main event. You had Stone Cold Steve Austin, the challenger, versus the WWF
man.
champion, The Rock.
This is the best match on the fucking thing, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This
Everyone
is
was
the reason you
everyone
watch
was
it.
waiting for this shit because
They
the
literally
minute,
go at it immediately. Like, both egos are fighting against each other. It's fucking them at top performance. They're fucking just flipping off the ref. The ref shouldn't even be there. And then they announce, like, and I guess I don't know if people knew this, but it was like no disqualification, like, was just announced before the match.
right? And even
So
the
that-
announcers were confused, like in storyline. By the way, really quick, Lawler had been fired, or Lawler walked out because his wife was fired. About 3 weeks, a month before the show. So that's when I got Heyman. And Heyman and Jim Ross, they did commentary in WCW together. Not that much, but a little bit. And they fit like a glove here. Because Heyman was doing the ECW Paulie Dangerously gimmick. And JR was doing JR. And it was just awesome. Heyman was great. And I kind of miss him on commentary, to be honest with you. But yeah. Enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, the announcers were confused. There's no DQ. Then you hit a glass break. And Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out to his Disturbed theme song.
Yeah.
Glass Shatters. Which is a stupid name for it, but whatever. So, Anthony, what'd you think of the whole thing?
Yeah, this was great. This is definitely the one I remember when I was a kid as well. And just because, like, how many times, you know, they beat the shit out of each other and they try to pin and they keep kicking out, and it's just like it doesn't stop. You know, the breaking pin attempts. I think the big thing was, you know, the takeaway was obviously him teaming up with Vince, because then it's like, okay, you know, you play this character of like being against the man, and then you join the man and you have him help you against the Rock, you know, and so
that's why a lot of people feel this is the end of the Attitude Era, because now he's joining the guy that he's fucking always been against.
Right.
He's like a sellout, but that was the point, because he wanted to become a bad guy. And McMahon was like, well, you know what? He's made the company so much money, we'll do what he wants. And that was a bad decision. And that's why they never turned John Cena. John Cena was a heel, became a really good babyface, and they never turned him again because of this situation here.
Yeah,
They always reference this.
Really? Yeah, that's crazy.
No,
yeah,
that's
I never
that's the
knew
truth.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cena was like Hogan, man. He was good for a long time, but if you would have turned him bad right before he stopped wrestling, it's like a Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan in WCW. It would have just picked right back up. You could have gotten 5 more years out of him. While you got Roman Reigns ready as the baby face going up against the big heel, Hollywood John Cena.
Because the
And
Rock
they fucked it up.
The Rock wasn't around he was only around for another year, right?
Rock he left right after this to film Scorpion King. So Rock came back at the end of the year. He came back for SummerSlam and Survivor Series. Or he came back at SummerSlam time and stayed there. But he wasn't there for Invasion. He wasn't there for any of that shit. So.
Yeah, this was great though. I mean, all in all, like, even depending on whatever anyone says, I think it was kind of crazy. I think probably, if I could say, like, the worst thing about it, and that's not even saying it's bad, is probably the ending. Everything else is like really good. Like, the ending isn't terrible, but it's like, you know, that whole turn, it's like, okay, like maybe if they took it a different way, but everything else leading up to that, like as far as like them getting, you know, all their finishers off on each other and just going fucking at it. I mean, this was the most energetic match of the whole card, as it should be. And again, they're all at peak performance, so this is like my favorite match on the bill.
They were in Austin's home state. The crowd was waiting for this match all night. The minute that they got in the ring, the audience was amped. The minute the first punch was thrown, the audience went fucking crazy. The audience was up for the whole thing. It was great. Like you said, the ending, the problematic part about the ending was he was in his home state and he's becoming a bad guy.
Yeah,
Nobody booed him.
Yeah, right.
They're not going to boo you. Now, a week later, they were going to be in Miami. Maybe they could have waited and turned them in Miami. That's where The Rock is from. Guarantee you, if you hype up Rock Night and Austin fucking ruins it, they're going to fucking boo Steve Austin. But they turned him. Everyone in the crowd's like, who gives a shit? He's the champion. Yeah, that's what we want.
Hang on.
And just, I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah.
But it was a great match. They beat the shit out of each other like they did at WrestleMania 15. And it was just, it's the best match that you had on the main event on this show. It was perfect.
Yeah.
You can say what you want about the turn. What I would have done, okay? And I know this is going out of the box a little bit. They bought WCW, okay? What I would have done, instead of turning him heel, he beats the fucking Rock. He turns heel on the Rock, okay? And he joins Vince. Then you hear the fucking NWO music, and then Vince and fucking Austin turn around, and you see Hogan and Bischoff come out. And then you see Vince and Austin be like, oh fuck. We're in big fucking trouble now. And that's how the show ends. Imagine if they did that shit.
Yeah.
They weren't going to do that, but that would have been a nice little what if. You know what I mean? Because now they turned on The Rock, but they're going to need The Rock later because they're going up against the fucking NWO, but then The Rock's going to go film fucking movies and say, fuck you guys, I'm leaving. It adds more dynamic to the story.
Yeah.
And Austin's not a heel at that point, or is he? We don't even know. The WWF guys might be the heel, NWOs might be the babyface. I don't know. They could both be heels, but NWO's coming to take over. You could have done that, but they didn't. So they kept to their plans. They did, which is fine. I don't mind it. And that's the death of Steve Austin's fucking career as a heel, right there. Is Scott Steiner over there? Are we gonna get rest in peace, Steve Austin? On fucking Monday Night Raw. Or rest in peace, The Rock, right?
Yeah. This happens, guys. This is what happens when you got two people on two different
you should
sides
request
of,
they play the
United
Night of
States.
Champions theme.
Oh, instead of taps. You should have did it last week. I'll tell them to do it next year.
What if you're trying to sleep?
Oh, well. Yeah, I sleep through the morning one, so.
You sleep through the morning ones? How did they not kick your ass?
Well, we're not doing anything.
When I was at sleepaway camp, they did the and you had to jump out of the bed and run outside.
Your
Be
shorts?
accounted for. Yeah, that stupid thing. I hated camp. Listen, here's the thing with me, okay? I don't like being on somebody else's schedule. I like being on my own schedule. Okay? I don't like being told, yeah, you're gonna stay at this place and you have to do what they tell you to do. And like, no, I don't do that. Sorry. I don't fit into all that. I don't want to be involved in that. If I'm tired, I want to do my own shit. I don't want to be on somebody's schedule. I don't want a fucking itinerary sheet and being told what to do. No, that doesn't work for me. Sorry. Anyway, let's get back to the main event. Who was going? Like Eli was going or Frank was going?
I think it was my turn.
Greatest WrestleMania of all time because it's main event. Go ahead.
Main event, I mean, you literally had this feud already in the bag. You already had Austin versus Rock 1, WrestleMania 15, 99. Blew the roof off the place. Austin and Rock are on top. This was the, part 2 of that, the continuation. The ending, again, like you guys said, it just wasn't, the right time or the right place, really, to do it. WrestleMania. In Texas, where Steve Austin is from. The fans wanted him to be the champ. Why would you put the hometown guy as the heel in the belt if you want him to get booed? I mean, but great match overall. These two had hatred for each other since the beginning of their feud, all the way back in, 98, 99. just great stuff between them, man. Hell, 97 even, just great stuff between the two. Showed you why they were the two best guys at the time, why they were the guys at the time. Nobody else could ever top them.
They were men fighting, and they beat the fuck out of each other like men. Not like this little kid bullshit that you see today in WWE. Oh, Daniel Bryan, yes! Like, what the fuck is that shit? This guy's fucking 3 feet tall. Going, I can wrestle now. Like, what the hell is that shit? Okay? Fuck that bullshit.
But we won't get into that. Daniel Bryan could have been so much better in WWE.
Look, I like Daniel Bryan.
It was WWE.
You compare that to this shit. You know what I mean? It's like legends. Like, okay, who's action star today? Versus like Schwarzenegger and Stallone from back in the day. Who is an action star today?
Keanu Reeves comes to mind.
Okay, Keanu Reeves. Okay, he's a perfect example. He's a skinny fucking old dude. He can't hold a candle to Schwarzenegger or Stallone in the 80s. He can't. He's a fucking wimpy guy. Big deal. He carries a fucking gun and shoots people. Wow, what did he fucking do? Schwarzenegger fucking ate people's brains for breakfast back in the day. Remember, you son of a bitch.
It's because he turned that.
Oh, don't be so mean to me. I'm just saying, man. It's like a completely different dynamic.
They got to put Keanu on that wheel from Conan that he's got to turn for like 6 years to get buff.
Whatever. So, you gonna finish with this, Eli, or what?
Just to conclude, man, 2 great stars, a great match. Everybody needs to go back and watch this. The whole show. Watch this match. It's
they bled. They had shitty sharpshooters, but bleeding told the story. One went bloody, did the sharpshooter. The other one got bloody, did the sharpshooter to him. Mm-hmm. They were one-upping each other in the ring, and in the spirit of competition.
Yeah, and Austin, man, like he could not beat The Rock. That was the story of this match. Like The Rock was not going to give up, man.
Right.
He fucking was fighting until he couldn't anymore, and that was the story. It was just a great match.
And they did a hell of a job telling that story. Frank?
What I knew right away the second that they got in the ring and they just started going at each other like dogs, it was like you knew this was going to be a good match. So it was just it was overall really, really good. A lot of great spots. It just, like you guys said, it told the story. It did what it had to do, and it was a really good match. So I would definitely, this and that ladder match, if you watch anything from this pay-per-view, go back and watch those. Even just as a snapshot from that time period. If you're not like a big wrestling fan, this would be like one of the matches to watch for sure.
Yeah, but you know what's fucked up? When you hear boxing, you always hear about Frazier and Ali. Go back and watch that. And nobody ever goes, ew, I wouldn't want to watch that. With fucking wrestling fans, it's like, oh my god, they don't know how to work matches back then. Yeah, fuck you. How about that?
They didn't know how to work
matches. It's like a fucking movie, my man. You don't go back, oh, I can't believe Schwarzenegger fucking did that in that movie fucking 30 years ago. Ew.
Ew.
Keanu wouldn't do that. Keanu would cut his fucking wrist open and be a robot. You know what I mean?
Johnny Silverhand.
If you think every wrestler has to be Kurt Angle, then you don't know wrestling. Like wrestling isn't always about being the most technical.
Here's the thing. Okay, when WWF ran out of storylines, WWE, what the fuck did they desensitize the audience? They were like, well, it's about the work rate. And guess what? All these motherfuckers care about the work rate now. I don't know, what's the good match? Ooh, the match is too short. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dude, we didn't care about that shit back in the day. And the wrestling fans have become fucking snobs. They're just like PlayStation fanboys. They're just like these snobby guys. They're like fanboys on everything. It doesn't matter. Political, video games, movies, music. All these fanboy people, they become fucking snobs. I even read something a couple of years ago on a message. Was one of the articles, and then they got comments and, oh, Steve Austin was overrated as a worker. It's like, okay, Stone Cold was a different worker than Steve Austin. When he broke his fucking neck, he changed it up to a brawler. Watch Steve Austin before he broke his neck. That guy was flying all around the ring and everything and doing crazy shit. As a big man. He broke his neck, he had to change to a brawler, and guess what? It worked out for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because what was Stone Cold Steve Austin doing? Beating the shit out of people. It had nothing to do with his work rate. These are characters. Goldberg. He's the biggest fucking guy that gets all this shit in the world. He can't work. He's only in it for the money. No shit, he's only in for the money. What's he gonna fucking do it for? The passion? Does he want to fucking touch these guys' asses all fucking day and rub his fucking hands on their tits? He's there to fucking make money like any other athlete. MLB. You think these guys join the MLB to fucking because of the passion of the game? They join the MLB because they get a fucking paycheck. Here's a $15 million. You get more than the president every fucking year. Oh, and if you get hurt, you still get that money. Oh, my fucking toe. Yeah, go home for 8 months. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Pick up the phone. Did we win? No, we didn't win because you were at home fucking with your toe. I'll come back. I'll help you out. 2 games later, my arm. Go home for another 10 months. Pay the guy. It's all about the fucking cash, my man. Passion. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. The only people with passion, not even strippers have passion. It's all about the cash. Oh, well, they're dancers. Nah, fuck that. It's all about the money. It's all about the money for everything, okay? Anyway. Goldberg, it's all about the money. He doesn't know how to work. He doesn't need to work. Do you know his character? Well, he can't work. No, then you don't know his character. Were you around in '98 when this guy was all over the cover of TV Guide? His face was all over the fucking place on TV? Inside Edition, Access Hollywood? Oh, yeah, that's right. You weren't there because your parents didn't even have fucking sex yet. And you weren't even born. You were a piece of protein in your dad's fucking smelly jock. Fucking idiot kids today. I swear to God, these people are fucking ridiculous. But how would I know? I'm not a famous lawyer, attorney, detective, like all these fucking wrestling fans apparently are in their mom's basement. They know exactly who did this and who did that, and this guy's bitter and that guy's bitter. They know all this shit because they were there, right? Dude, you read a fucking website, you're 600 pounds, get the fucking out of the house and see the sun for 5 minutes, okay? So tired of these fucking stupid people. Goldberg doesn't need to be a good worker. Goldberg's character is he's a fucking machine, he beats the fuck out of you, and he's in and out. And how, like, holy shit, that guy beat that guy in fucking 2 seconds. That's Goldberg's character. Goldberg is like, yeah, I'm gonna outwork everybody in this fucking company. I'm gonna have 75 fucking minute matches. It's gonna be fucking great. I'm going to do all the fucking moves and everything. I'm going to touch this guy's ass. I'm going to rub his tits on his face. You don't see... Goldberg never guarantees any of that stuff. He's in, kills the guy, he's out. And they're like, holy shit, who was that guy that just killed everybody? That's Goldberg. So, when people say that, like Steve Austin and Goldberg and all that, it's all about the fucking money. They don't care. It's not a big deal. They're performers. They got to do what they got to do. So, Austin's overrated. Okay, you tell that to Stone Cold Steve Austin's bank account right now, because the guy saved every penny.
Yeah.
I don't think his broker is fucking complaining. I don't think his banks are complaining. I don't think his credit line's hurting either. Oh, I got my credit card. I can't even put gas in my car. But I'll tell on the internet that I'm a high-paid lawyer. I know who did this and who did that in wrestling. Shut up. You don't know shit. Anyway, that's my little rant. So finish up what you're doing.
Who?
I was done. I think Frank.
Frank was going, I think, right?
No, I was done.
Okay.
All right, so to cap this all off, we leave you all on the 20th anniversary of WrestleMania 17, the greatest WrestleMania of all time.
It was great. It was fun doing it, guys.
It was a lot of
doing
fun.
We might come back for Invasion in July, and we might come back for SummerSlam. We're definitely coming back for Survivor Series because that's a big one. It's a kiss my ass.
Oh yeah.
But I want to thank you all for watching.
Absolutely.
I want to thank these guys for being here. These guys have been here with me since 6 p.m. It is now 12:13 a.m. Straight they've been with me. So thank you all for doing this. It means a lot that we can have a round table. And Eli and I will see you guys on Friday for Complainers Club. So everyone take care. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys later.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Frosty. They left.
Well, we told them to